Mrs. Augusta, please go ahead.
All right, Mr. Mark Olise, I hope you can hear me. Can you?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so our next question, in view of the sovereignty issues and questions that you have highlighted as arising from the grievances of the constituent components of Nigeria against the current unitary constitution order, that is the 1999 constitution, can you share with our audience the approach of the Lower Niger Congress and its eminent alliance partners to finding a resolution of these sovereignty issues and questions? And in so doing, can you also share with our audience the disposition of the LNC towards the Biafra restoration agitation, especially against the backdrop of the 8-point strategy of the LNC, over which it differs almost irreconcilably with the Biafra restoration agitation bandwagon? Thank you.
I don't think part of the West society is about.
You say?
Can you please repeat again? Can you please
repeat? Okay,
it?
of course. Of course, maybe I'll take it one by one. In view of the sovereignty issues and questions that you have highlighted as arising from the grievances of the constituent components of Nigeria against the unitary constitution of the 1999 constitution, can you share with our audience the approach of the Lower Niger Congress and its eminent alliance partners to finding a resolution of this sovereignty issues and questions? And in so doing, can you also share with our audience the disposition of the LNC towards the Biafran restoration agitation, especially against the backdrop of the 8-point strategy of the LNC, over which it offers almost irreconcilably with the Biafra restoration agitation bandwagon? Did you hear me now?
Yeah, it's a very long question and carrying so many parts along with it.
Good.
I just wish we broke down those questions into one unit to the other so that it's not confusing.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it this way. Go ahead. Can you hear me?
So I also, Mr. Olise, you can log in. You can try to log in. I've been able to add you back on. So use that link to log in. I think it's more interactive when our viewers can
see him. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay, please, can you try once more, Mr. Olise, to log in through Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry for the... Your voice is clearer too.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so you should allow him now to join.
Yeah.
Thank you, audience, for being patient with us. You know, we are not perfect in this. We are not IT people. We're just doing this because we want what is right for our people. So
absolutely. You know, it's like what he was saying. The issue on ground is sovereignty question. It's not political party issue. It's not APC, PDP. It's not all those things that people are running around with. It's sovereignty, and sovereignty belongs to the people. They are the owners of the land. So it's not the politicians, because the politicians are the employees employed by the people to manage their resources, which they have done a very bad job at. It's obvious to everyone that they've not done a good job. So in normal business, if you employ someone and is mismanaging your resources, destroying your company, do you still allow him to continue to work for you, or you fire him immediately?
No, you fire him.
So that's what we've been trying to tell our people, that sovereignty and power belongs to them. Do not cede it out to the politicians. Do not even cede it out to the freedom fighters, Yahoo freedom fighters. It is your responsibility. You will be an irresponsible father, an irresponsible parent, if you cannot secure your land for your children unborn. That is the sad story of Africa. We eat for today, and we do not plan for our children unborn. We don't make sure that the ground that we are living, that the country that we are living is safe for the children coming. the generation coming after us. We inherited this land from our forefathers. How come we're not sure that we'll be able to give back this land to the children we are giving birth to? And it does not concern us. And we're not worried about it. We are so lackadaisical about it. We're just relaxed. It's okay. I have a friend I was talking to. He said, no, Nigeria will never break. I say, it's not your fault now. Because you're comfortable. You have established your local government for yourself. You have standby generator that you use a key to turn it on. You have a borehole. You have a security doorpost. You are the local government of yourself. So you have provided all this for yourself and you do not care about my people. It does not concern you that your next door neighbor is unable to eat. It is not your business that a widow is unable to train her children. It does not concern you that our old people are not taken care of. That once they are sick, then they must die. If you ask them, they say, oh, it's old age. No, the people who have here live up to 90, 100. Sister Muna was telling me about somebody that lost the husband. They've been married for 69 years. Marriage. They've been married for 69 years.
A lifetime that a lot of us cannot boast of.
We don't even live up to 69. Our people die at 63, 53. But these people have been married. It's not their own life. It's not the lifespan. It's the lifespan of the marriage. I also had a church member. I think they were married for 55 years. And he was saying, if I knew what I knew today, my wife would have still been here. I looked at him and said, anyway, at your age, you're still querying God that why should you take your wife that is 70, 80? My people can't even marry for 10 years and they've lost the husband. They've lost the wife. If it's not accidents, what will kill you in that Nigeria? In fact, you have more things that will kill you than the things that will not kill you. You can easily just go like this. Anything can kill you in Nigeria. Don't we deserve better? Do we not deserve better? If Boko Haram is not killing you, Fulani herdsmen will be killing you. Then if not, the traps they set on the road will get you. Who says that this is the life you should live? And it pains me more when I talk to Christians. Don't you read your Bible? Jesus Christ came to give you the kingdom here on earth. No, you want to die first before you go to the kingdom. You're not reading your Bible very well. He said, I've come to give you life more abundantly. Is the life you're living now the type of life that Christ died for? It cost him his life to get you freedom. Are you enjoying that freedom? All you do is to live and die. Then have nothing for your children. You're not even sure what will happen to your children when you're done, when you're gone. As a man, you die. Your wife cannot even manage the children because you're the only salary earner. Sister Muna, is he there yet?
No.
Okay, do we go back to what we're doing before?
Yes, let's go back to audio. Apparently he's having challenges.
Okay, let me call him again.
Sister Mona, can you call direct? Probably it would be better.
Okay.
If you call him direct on WhatsApp, it would sound clearer from your own end.
Yeah.
Text me his number. Let me do that.
So while we are waiting for Mr. Mark Olise, I was going through some of the comments that people were writing. Some people are saying we should not depend on the UN. We have said this times without number. UN is not going to come and do whatever for you. UN is not even interested in coming to do anything for you. UN is going to just be there on a supervisory level. When it's time for referendum, they will come and help supervise it. So for those that are saying, oh, you guys are depending on UN, I don't know, probably you've not been listening to us in our past shows and all that. And those that are saying Fulani will not allow you to change the constitution, for the often time, nobody's changing the constitution. We are bringing down the constitution. We've said this over and over, that the force majeure is all about taking down the constitution. Once the constitution is taken down, there will be no, the people that you employ to go work for you will not be there anymore. So just understand that the fact is that you've not come to the realization that these people are working for you. You think that you are working for them. They are working for you. Here in America, if any congressman misbehaves, it gets recorded immediately. Even if you all saw when President Trump was, they were trying to impeach him. So in Western world, or probably places where real democracy is being practiced, they have the power. The people, we the people, have the power to do whatever we want to do. So we've been talking and saying that what we are trying to say about the 1999 Constitution is that we the people did not write it. We did not write that Constitution. This thing was drafted, God knows where, maybe in an hotel or so. We did not write that Constitution. We did not ask those people to go out there and help us. And those that are saying that you have to deal with your political leaders and all that. The Constitution gives your political leaders the power to misbehave. Your political leaders are doing this because the Constitution is there. You cannot interrogate them. You cannot audit what they are doing. You cannot ask questions. If you do, you are immediately, imprisoned or God knows what. It's because the power has been given by that Constitution. So pulling down that Constitution would make it very, very possible for us to elect the people that we want to be there for us. Remember, these people are being sanctioned by the cabals. I understand that the Edo State, is it the Edo State? I've not been following Nigerian politics lately. One pastor, Olise,
Edo State, yeah,
had to go and wear a turban, had to go to the north, just for them to approve him being the governor of Edo State. I believe that was what it was.
All our governors, they did the same thing.
You have to dress to go and get, approval from the cabals, because that Constitution is written in such a way, it's written around them. And we're saying that people, if you put Jesus Christ as the president, I just want to tell you how terrible that Constitution is. You put Jesus Christ as the president of that country. Because he has to go by the Constitution will be messed up. The Constitution will mess him up. So that is why we are not going to do that. So if you put an angel Gabriel, angel Michael, whatever angel, when I see, whatever sense you put in that, that Constitution would mess them up, because they had to go by it. So unless the Constitution is brought down, there's nothing we can do about that. And those hoping for Igbo presidency, forget about it. That's not going to work. That was
good luck.
Was it not there? Jonathan was not even able to fix the road leading to his own village. How much more? It's because the Constitution makes it impossible for him to do that. So Jonathan was there for 6 years or thereabout. Nothing positive came down to the eastern region. You understand? Because his hands were tied. The Constitution made that impossible for him to do certain things. So unless that Constitution is brought down, we will continue to rigmarole. We will continue to shout, and nothing positive would happen. Have we been able to get back on?
So we have him in, Sister Augusta, because he's not visual and he's had to listen with the noise in his background. Just read the question one and leave it, and then he ask the next one when he's done. Don't combine all of them together. Okay, so maybe that will be easier for him. Okay, he's on. So go ahead.
Let me say, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, the first question is that, can you share with our audience, okay, the approach of the Lower Niger Congress and its eminent alliance partners to finding a resolution of the sovereignty issues and questions? Because there are sovereignty issues and questions about the 1999 Constitution. So can you, explain to our people what the LNC and the eminent partners are doing in that regard?
Okay, the process that we are involved in now started a long time ago. The most prominent of the activities that we have carried out as an alliance, the eminent partners and our Lower Niger Congress, our own regional group, the Lower Niger Congress, started with pro-narco processes, where all the indigenous nationalities in Nigeria were mobilized, consulted, mobilized to a conference. That was in 2005. And the People's National Conference was the highlight of that process, in which people came for several months throughout 2006 and the earlier part of 2007. And that process, was like a mock conference, a mock constitutional conference to show the resolve of the indigenous nationalities of Nigeria to take their destiny in their hands, take back their sovereignty that has been hijacked by the coupists of 1966, July 29. And followed by that was a lawsuit challenging the legitimacy of the 1999 Constitution in 2007. Our Secretary General, Barrister Tony Nadi, was the lead counsel in that case. And among those who put their pen to paper as the people suing the Nigerian state were Yoruba leaders like Bekor and Son Kuti, like Wole Soyinka, Midwestern region leaders like Chief Anthony Enauro, a First Republic information minister, and the man who moved the motion for Nigeria independence. Then there was Alhaji Mujahid Dokubo Asari, the Niger Delta leader from Ijoland. Then there was Raf Wazirike, representing those who are clamoring for the restoration of the sovereignty of people of the Old Eastern region, referred to as the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra. Then a host of other, like Bishop Bonigi, is a renowned Yoruba self-damnation campaigner, a bishop of note and someone with very large following in the self-damnation movement in the Western region. He was a major part of that suit. So the whole process is, led to a declaration in Lagos, which was the MNN Lagos Declaration in 2011, June 30 to be precise. Then at that MNN declaration, there was an agreement that every partner members of the alliance, MNN alliance, should go mobilize their region, to repudiate the 1999 Constitution and to work out, charters of agreements between their people on how they want to partner in the struggle for self-determination. So these regional solemn assemblies took place. The one of Port Harcourt was organized by the Lower Niger Congress in 2015, just before the handover of the reign of affairs from Jonathan to Buhari. I think that was April 27 to be precise. Then there was also the Yoruba people had their own declaration in 2017, 2 years later, September 7 to be precise, at Damasingba Stadium, Ibadan. Then the Middle Belt had their own in Makurdi the next year, 2018. July 18 was the day of their declaration. So by the time all the various, the three main regions had reached this agreement, there was a Freedom Park conference, which was a coalition of all the representatives of these three regions met in Lagos, Freedom Park, and made a proclamation on December 11, 2015. This proclamation, had constitutional force majeure as the main agreement, the main point that was reached. And this constitutional force majeure is the activation of the implementation phase of the Freedom Park proclamation. It should have taken place in the first quarter of this year, but for the pandemic that struck and the lockdown that followed slowed down, because all the agreements that needed to be written down, the text of the declaration, the signatories and the rest, you need to travel all across the country, meet the people, hold meetings and have these signatures. But the lockdown made it impossible for that part of the mobilization to be done. But then adjustments have been made by the leadership of the alliance for rescheduling the activation of the constitutional force majeure after the delays imposed by the lockdown. So basically, the approach of the Lower Niger Congress, has four basic strategic points. And that is where we differ from the bulk of those who are shouting, we want freedom now. Because there cannot be a revolution without a revolutionary theory. Without the articulating a proper war strategy, you cannot win a war, even no matter how mighty your arsenal is. You must have thinkers, you must have strategists, and programs.
Yeah.
And that is where we need everybody to buy in. So one of the major points of our strategy, has to do with, having the exact map of the territory under the principles of self-determination, this United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. The truth is that it is the nations themselves that have that right. Yeah. They can decide to exercise that right in conjunction with other nations. By that, I mean that the Ijaws, as a separate political unit, have their own right to self-determination. Urobos have their own right separately from Ijaws and from Igbos, have their separate right to self-determination. So, do the Ibibios, so do the Benis, and all the, linguistic nationality groups, in our region. So our expressing this right to self-determination together can only be a consequence of an agreement between us to want to express it thus. It is not because, somebody sat down somewhere and declared that these people in this area were one and the same with them, so we must or we should. That is a tyranny that is not less reprehensible and not less criminal and illegitimate as that of the Nigerian people who decreed the constitution into existence for us and have seized all our political space. So to make sure that our own case is different from theirs, is why we are doing the various mobilizations that I'm talking about. One of which is having an exact map for the territory, which was at the solemn assembly that took place in 2015 in Port Harcourt. We agreed and adopted a map for the region. And the map is the ethno-linguistic map of the Lower Niger it was a map designed in 1885, showing the connections between people of our region. So with people from the region meeting and agreeing that they want to seek their right to self-determination together, and adopting a map for that purpose, it is one of our strategy, and it is something that has, given this process more legitimacy in the eyes of the international community, the United States, and those who back us within the United Nations. Then also, I've talked about the internal cohesion. I've talked about the 1885 linguistic map of the Lower Niger. Then also taking down the 1999 Constitution, which is the instrument, by which these people tend to give legitimacy to their pillaging of our resources and the occupation of our land. So taking that constitution is a major strategy for the Lower Niger Congress. It's similar to what the African National Congress did in South Africa when they insisted that the country can no longer be governed on the basis of the apartheid constitution, being the bulwark and the basis for all of the apartheid laws and apartheid regime that have made life difficult for their people. So taking down the constitution is a very important, strategy for us. And another strategy for us is this MNN alliance that we have put together, getting the nationalities in the Middle Belt and their leaders, and not those in the Southwest, then those from the old Midwestern region, first of all, agreeing to seek their path to self-determination with those from the old Eastern region was the first strategy. Then the next strategy was getting our Lower Niger region to, be in agreement with those from the Western region and those from the Middle Belt to work towards the dissolution of this union of attrition. Instead of just wishing that we can just declare secession or declare that our region is now independent of the, Nigeria. So our strategy is to work towards the dissolution of Nigeria itself. So it makes it difficult for those people who were able to put the rest of the country in alliance against our region. It makes it difficult for them to succeed this time. Now, the rest of the country have been united by our strategy to ostracize those who have already, created a bifurcation with their Sharia declaration, at the early part of this civilian dispensation in Nigeria. So another thing too is that we decided that it would be wrong for us to be adopting a name for the region, ahead of when everybody else that is part of the region agrees to what name it should be called. It should be a process of, discussion and the rest, and at the pre-referendum stage, it will be counterproductive to be saying that, because there are leaders in these other parts of the region outside Igbo land that insist that because of the history and the way, the independent Biafra that was declared in 1967, the way it went, the confusion that came, the surrender that took place, that it will be counterproductive. It will be a wrong strategy to be claiming today that you are seeking independence for Biafra, and it will not be uniting enough. So when they get to that point, when we are sure that we have won significant victory in this process, and people are now, there's a conference or a meeting to decide on what name the new or an independent region or whatever our people decide, what will it be called? One of the names that will be suggested definitely by people from the Lower Niger Congress will be Biafra, So it depends on which name becomes widely accepted among the people. So it's nothing to be emotional about the name. You know, it's a deliberate strategy, and it has really united the people because they already on their own had their own self-damnation campaign. People from Igbo land or from Biafra agitation were not part of the Kayama Declaration. They don't draft the declaration for the Jaw people. Neither did we draft the declaration for the Ogoni people in their Ogoni Bill of Rights. So these nations have their own struggle that have been going on. So if we decide to have a unity of struggle, we cannot come with predetermined or preset mindsets, or to dictate to them what we think it should be. Then the question of terminal processes for concluding the self-determination campaign referendums as against cataclysm and war, we know it is not easy for people to go to civil war twice in the country, considering the damage that we suffered then. So thinking that the only way we can get freedom must be by war, might not be the best strategy. So having, as I said, philosophical and intellectual, approach to mobilizing our people and get the international community to buy into our strategy, in regard for the principles of democracy. It's also a fundamental part of our strategy, different from those who are saying Biafra or Dex, now or whatever, just by broadcast. And these I'm happy. I think it was yesterday I saw someone, which could be a reflection of the leadership of those who used to be part of, who are part of the Biafra restoration that has refused to embrace our strategy. Because the truth is that the majority of the Biafra restoration groups have actually embraced our strategy. Because Uche Madu led Masob, have long bought into our strategy. Then a significant, let me not be calling names, but a significant portion of those who gave energy to the Radio Biafra London-led IPOB, have also embraced our strategy, and they are working seriously to get to make what we are doing see the light of the day. So also even the likes of Raf Waziri.
Right. So
Of the realms of affairs, right, did not shy away from giving his full support. At least he sent representatives to the pro-NACO processes that we organized, and MNN. There was this Ifunaya, Abraham, and co. That were part of those processes.
So, Mr. Olise, thank you so much.